Welcome to the Trade Talk Showcase on Brownfield. I'm anchor reporter Megan Grebner. With us is Brett Kaysen, Vice President of Sustainability with the National Pork Board. Hello.
Hello, thank you for the opportunity to visit with you this morning.
It's great to see you, even though it's not in person this year.
Yes, I sure miss everybody in Kansas City, right? And then the excitement of walking up and down the trade floor. But hey, the technology's working. It's 2020, and we're still in the virtual space and have the opportunity to talk. So,
Isn't it great to have this virtual aspect to be able to do what we love and be able to tell our stories as well?
absolutely, thank goodness we have the digital platform to connect, right? So we're making the best of it, and look forward to seeing everybody in Kansas City in 2021 for sure.
Today, we're going to talk a little bit about sustainability. Talk to me a little bit about how America's pig farmers and hog farmers continue to work and strive for sustainability in doing what they do best.
Yeah, thank you. And I would start with this, right, is that there's no question that pig farmers have always been dedicated to continuous improvement. And that's how they define sustainability. You know, their goal, and as they wake up every morning, is do the right thing for the right reasons and to pass that multi-generational farm on. And so that improvement was demonstrated with some of the research that we've published here as of late, which was a 55-year look back retrospective study on how are pig farmers doing with land use and water use and energy. And you've heard a lot about carbon lately, right? And so how are they doing in the carbon space? And I'm happy to report that pig farmers have demonstrated that it takes 76% less land today per pound of pork produced than it did back in 1960. It takes 25% less water to produce a pound of pork today, 7% less energy. And then when we talk about carbon, they've reduced their carbon emission per pound of pork by almost 8%. And so you can see that demonstrated proof over time that pig farmers are committed to this thing called sustainability and in their eyes demonstrating this continuous improvement.
We know that the climate conversation is one that keeps coming up and involves the ag sector. What are some things that, some innovative things, and what are pork farmers doing to contribute to sustainability and in that climate conversation as well?
Well, there's no question that our data suggests, and the research that we've done on consumers, that the millennial eater and the Gen Z eater is really looking at two particular things from proteins. And that is one, is it good for me from a health perspective, right? And secondly, then, and just as importantly, is it good for the planet? So we understand that's our current and future eater, and so we have to meet their needs. So how do you do that? And how are pig farmers doing that with the practices on farm? Couple things. Some are easy, Megan, and you may have done it in your own home, right? Is you go through your house and you replace the incandescent bulbs with LED lights. Pig farmers are doing the same thing within their farrowing barns and finishing barns across the United States. As you drive through the Midwest today, you'll also see a plethora of solar panels surrounding pig farms, right, or on top of the barns themselves. So alternative energy use, a lot of wind turbines right next to barns. And so how we use that power of the wind to generate energy for the barn. And then as you get towards the eastern part of our production system, in North Carolina specifically, the amazing things they're doing with methane digesters and taking manure and not only applying it to the fields to increase soil health, but putting that through a digester and creating renewable natural gas that goes right into the pipeline. So low hanging fruit from LED lights to modern day technology, making renewable natural gas. Pig farmers have it covered on all ends.
It's really innovative and forward looking, especially in the ag industry. As you look ahead, what are some of the goals as you look at pigs, people, in the planet aspect of things and your goals for the nation's pork producers?
Yeah, our strategy moving forward is the pork checkoff working on behalf of the 60,000 plus pig farmers is the following. You know, Megan, you're aware of We Care and those 6 ethical principles that we call our sustainability framework that pig farmers live by every day. The work we're leading now is okay, we know we're committed to those ethical principles, and now we're starting to put some goals and commitments and key performance indicators around each of those ethical principles so that we can go to consumers and large customers and say, oh, yes, we're committed to animal welfare, but let us demonstrate and show you with data and proof points how we've really increased our presence here in the animal well-being space. The other strategy on behalf of all farmers out there is this emotional and visceral attachment to the farmer. The data suggests, read the headlines. I think pig farmers and farmers in general have been highlighted as heroes in 2020 because we saw our supply chain bend. It didn't break, but it bent. And, for the first time in a long time, the American consumer went to the shelf and didn't find exactly what they wanted at a large volume. And so I think there's a new grown and honed respect for farmers. And it's our job as the checkoff to share that with the consuming public of how important farmers are to feeding the world. And so it's a two-pronged approach based in science, but then also the ability to share that science and story of sustainability through the farmer's voice.
And how incredible are pork farmers to be able to see that chain bend and adapt and overcome and really maneuver to get to where we are today, which is in a better position than we were 6 months ago.
I'm so proud of those farmers, and I was in the middle of this with them in March and April when the pandemic first, became, I'd say, mainstream and challenged our pork processing plants. But I've always said, Megan, if you have a complex problem that you're looking for a solution to, no matter what that is, if you put it in front of pig farmers, they tend to figure it out. And so, again, they demonstrated their intelligence, their prowess, their ability to overcome and adapt and innovate. And we're better and stronger for it. I know it's been a challenging year for all of our farmers, but the silver lining is there'll be future challenges, and I think we're more prepared for those than ever.
Brett, thank you for joining us today, and good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for the opportunity.
That's Brett Kaysen with the National Pork Board. I'm Megan Grebner for Brownfield.